What makes a mob boss legendary? Join us as we explore the lives of the 10 most infamous black mob bosses in history. From Harlem's Bumpy Johnson to the ruthless Frank Lucas and the notorious Nicky Barnes. These figures shaped the underworld with their daring exploits and powerful empires. Dive into their stories of crime, power, and the lasting impact they left on American history. Number 10. Bumpy Johnson. Ellsworth Raymond Johnson. Ellsworth Raymond Bumpy Johnson was a notorious mob boss who ruled Harlem's underworld during the mid-20th century. Born on October 31, 1905, in Charleston, South Carolina, he moved to Harlem and quickly rose through the criminal ranks. Known as the Godfather of Harlem, Johnson was involved in various illegal activities, including drug trafficking, gambling, and extortion. His criminal empire was marked by his strategic alliances with Italian mobsters, notably with mafia boss Charles "Lucky" Luciano. Despite his criminal endeavors, Johnson was also seen as a protector of Harlem, often helping community members in need. Number 9. Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas, born September 9, 1930, in La Grange, North Carolina, became one of Harlem's most infamous drug lords in the 1970s. Mentored by Bumpy Johnson, Lucas established a heroin trafficking empire that smuggled drugs directly from Southeast Asia, claiming to use American servicemen's coffins for transport. This method, known as the Golden Triangle Operation, enabled him to bypass traditional mafia-controlled routes and significantly increase his profits. Lucas' ruthless business acumen and violent enforcement tactics made him a feared figure in the criminal underworld. His life and crimes were later dramatized in the 2007 film American Gangster, starring Denzel Washington. Number 8. Nicky Barnes. Leroy Nicholas Barnes. Leroy Nicholas "Nicky" Barnes, born October 15, 1933, in Harlem, New York, was a notorious drug lord who dominated the heroin trade in the 1970s. Known as Mr. Untouchable, Barnes was the head of the Council, an African-American organized crime syndicate that controlled a significant portion of Harlem's drug market. His sophisticated operations and ability to evade law enforcement for years made him a legendary figure in the criminal world. Barnes flaunted his wealth and power, famously appearing on the cover of the New York Times Magazine. His empire eventually crumbled, leading to his cooperation with authorities and his entry into witness protection. Number 7. Alpo Martinez. Alberto Geddes Martinez. Alberto Geddes, Alpo Martinez, born June 8, 1966, in East Harlem, New York, became one of the most notorious drug dealers in the 1980s. Rising to prominence in the New York City drug trade, he expanded his operations to Washington, D.C., amassing significant wealth and power. Known for his flamboyant lifestyle and ruthless tactics, Martinez's criminal activities included drug trafficking, murder, and violence. His life inspired the character Rico in the 2002 film Paid in Full. In 1991, Martinez was arrested and later cooperated with authorities, entering witness protection after providing information on his associates. He was killed in 2021. Number 6. The Chambers Brothers. The Chambers Brothers, led by siblings Larry, Billy Joe, Willie, and Otis Chambers, operated a notorious drug organization in Detroit during the 1980s. Originating from Lee County, Arkansas, the brothers moved to Detroit and established a large-scale crack cocaine distribution network. Their operation was known for its organizational structure and efficiency, employing a hierarchical system and innovative communication methods to avoid law enforcement detection. The Chambers brothers' activities contributed significantly to the crack cocaine epidemic in Detroit, causing widespread social and economic damage. Their criminal empire eventually collapsed following a major federal investigation, leading to their arrests and lengthy prison sentences. Number 5. Melvin Williams. Melvin Williams, known as Little Melvin, was a prominent figure in Baltimore's criminal underworld during the 1960s and 1970s. Initially involved in petty crime, Williams rose to power through drug trafficking, extortion, and gambling. He became known for his charisma and strategic thinking, establishing a reputation as a savvy businessman within Baltimore's African-American community. Williams' criminal activities eventually caught up with him, leading to multiple arrests and convictions. However, in a surprising turn, he later renounced his criminal past and became an advocate for youth outreach and community development, which was depicted in the TV series The Wire. Number 4. Jeff Fort. Jeff Fort, born February 20th, 1947, in Chicago, Illinois, founded the Black Pea Stones Gang in the 1960s, which later evolved into a formidable organized crime syndicate known as El Rook. Fort's leadership transformed the gang into a powerful force involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and contract killings in Chicago. El Rook also maintained connections with international terrorist organizations, leading to Fort's eventual conviction on terrorism charges in 1987. His criminal empire collapsed, but his influence persisted within Chicago's gang culture. Fort remains a controversial figure, known for his complex interactions with both the criminal underworld and political authorities. Number 3. Rayful Edmond. Rayful Edmond, born November 26, 1964, in Washington, D.C., rose to prominence as a notorious drug dealer during the 1980s. Operating primarily in the D.C. area, Edmond established a highly lucrative cocaine distribution network, importing large quantities directly from Colombian cartels. His operation revolutionized the local drug trade, introducing new distribution methods and generating immense profits. Edmond's lavish lifestyle and ruthless business tactics made him a prominent figure in the city's underworld. Despite his initial success, his empire eventually collapsed after a major federal investigation led to his arrest and conviction in 1989. Number 2. Felix Mitchell. Felix Mitchell, known as Felix the Cat, was a prominent drug kingpin based in Oakland, California. During the 1970s and 1980s, he founded and led the 69 Mob, which became infamous for its involvement in the local drug trade, particularly crack cocaine. Mitchell's organization operated with a high degree of organization and efficiency, controlling significant portions of Oakland's illicit drug market. His influence extended through his strategic alliances and ruthless enforcement tactics. Mitchell's criminal career was cut short when he was sentenced to life in prison in 1985 for drug trafficking charges, where he died in 1986. Number 1. Stanley Tookie Williams. Stanley Tookie Williams, born December 29, 1953, co-founded the notorious Crips gang in Los Angeles during the early 1970s. Known for its violent rivalry with the Bloods, the Crips became one of the most notorious street gangs in America. Williams was involved in numerous criminal activities, including drug trafficking, robbery, and murder. While serving a life sentence for murder, Williams underwent a profound transformation, renouncing his gang past and becoming an advocate for peace and youth education. He authored several books aimed at deterring youth from gang life and was nominated multiple times for the Nobel Peace Prize before his execution in 2005. For more intriguing insights into history's most notorious figures, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the untold stories behind the world's most infamous leaders in crime. Thank you for watching.